humans, it's just Martine, and today it's time to attempt a 24 in 48. A 24 in 48 is where you try to read for 24 hours in a 48-hour time span. I haven't tried one of these in a really long time for many reasons. I haven't been listening to audiobooks as much. It really requires audiobooks to do 24 and 48, at least in a way that feels livable to me. I also have been busy with lots of other things. I haven't really wanted to do a 24 and 48, but I feel like it now, so we're doing it. I've blocked out today and tomorrow to do so. Today is a Friday, tomorrow's a Saturday. Usually, I make it so that the 48 hours are across a 3-day time span. So I'll start like Friday afternoon and then have Saturday and then the morning on Sunday. So it's kind of a risk to do it this way and just have Friday and Saturday, because that's a solid 12 hours of reading a day instead of one 12-hour reading day. So we'll see how it goes. I woke up this morning, I started reading. Let's continue that. I just spent some of my audiobook time walking to the grocery store, so I thought I'd give you a haul. I got way more than I usually do because the rainy season has started. It's been raining like all week, and today was finally sunny, and so I felt like maybe just in case it's rainy when I'm supposed to be getting groceries, I should have stocked up a little more on frozen stuff. So that's why I spent like $70 today. Oh, I'm also trying some new things. Let's jump into it. I got 3 cans of black beans, like I always do, and 3 pouches of 90-second jasmine rice. For fun drinks, I got myself 1 Gatorade that I was supposed to drink on the way back. I did not because I was holding way too much stuff. And then I got a sparkling strawberry kiwi drink. For produce, I got baby carrots, Brussels sprouts, and nectarines. In terms of like fruity snacks that I've gotten for just a little sugar boost, I got some more dried mango. I've been really loving this. I also got some strawberry fruit strips. Sorry, that was backwards. And then this fruit puree smoothie thing, mixed berry flavor. I also, for hydration, got another box of their passion fruit hydration with electrolytes. I've been really enjoying this one. The salt content is higher than a lot of the other cheap ones, and I need that. I also got some of their spicy guac. I love having this with my black beans and rice. And I got some Colby Jack cheese squares. I wanted to get cheese sticks, but they didn't have any Colby Jack ones, so I did not. And then I went a little crazy on the frozen stuff, partially because of the reason I told you, and partially because they had things I hadn't seen before. So I got some frozen stuffed shells, some more of these mini black bean empanadas. These are really good. Fudge bars, because I'm almost out of popsicles. This obscenely large bag of potato and onion pierogies, and a thing of hash browns. And again, all of that came out to around $70. So more than I maybe usually spend, but not terrible, especially because with all the frozen stuff, especially those pierogies, that should last me a while. I'm gonna put this all away, get back to listening to my audiobook, and then switch to my Kindle for a bit. Why, hello there. It's a little past 2 p.m., and I've officially hit 6 hours of reading. So I am a quarter of the way there. Heck yeah. I also just finished my first official book of this. I can't tell you about it because it's a TBR crime book, but I can tell you that it was a good book to read in one day and has helped these first 6 hours of reading fly by. So hopefully whatever I start next continues that momentum. I might end up switching back to a book that I've already started for a bit, but we'll see. It feels like a Saturday because I'm just reading all day. I've checked my email like twice and Teams once, and that's it. I've just been sitting here reading since I got back from doing groceries, so it feels more like a Saturday than a Friday, but I'm pleased with how this is going so far. The minimum for today will be 6 more hours. I believe in myself. Let's go. It is 6:15 p.m. and I'm going to log on in a few minutes to talk to Bailey and have the Junie B. Jones live show for last month. So that's exciting. So I need to take a bit of a break from reading. That's probably good. I have officially hit 10 hours of reading. So 2 more hours to go today, minimum. We've got this. I did finish an audiobook earlier that I can tell you about, but I have to log on now. So I'll try to remember to tell you later. As in probably tomorrow. We'll see. It's approaching 7:30 and I'm about to hop back into reading, but while I'm on a break for the live show, I figured I might as well stop and update you about that book I wanted to tell you about, which was The Beat I Drum by Dusty Bowling, and I'm giving it 4 stars. This is actually the 3rd book in a series, except told from a different point of view than either of the first 2 books, but that's fine. It's in the Life of a Cactus series, and I've just really enjoyed this series in general. But for this one, instead of following Avon as the main character, we're following Connor as he moves town and starts high school. Connor has Tourette syndrome, and that's been a big part of his journey, and we get to see how that continues to influence him as he moves to a new school, makes new friends, deals with family drama like a father who left and now kind of wants back into his life. Connor's also getting into music, and so we're following his journey and seeing how music helps him with his emotions. As always with these books, I feel like Dusty Bowling just does such a good job, has an excellent, diverse, and lovable cast of characters who you can really root for. I liked all the new ones that we met in this book because since Connor moved schools, we get to see the characters from earlier on in the series, but we also get to see a whole new cast of characters, which is really fun. So overall, I just had a good time with this. I didn't even know that Dusty Bowling was writing a new book in this series until I was scrolling on Libby to find relatively short audiobooks, and I saw this pop up, and I was like, oh my goodness, I love those books. So I'm glad I got to give it a read, because if you have 24 hours to read, you might as well read a new release from a series that you really like and had no idea was getting a 3rd book. Hooray! With that said, though, back to reading I go. 2 more hours tonight. I can do this. Woot, woot. I'm just going to fade away into the darkness of night. I actually need to turn on some lights in here so that I can see to read. All right, let's go. Boo. It's approaching 10 p.m. and I just hit 12 hours of reading today and 1,000 pages. So I'm gonna call it a night and do it all again tomorrow. Yippee! Good morning! Happy Saturday. I'm feeling great this morning, which is a minor miracle. Here are the updates. Last night, after I hit my 12 hours, I did my habits for the day. I got ready for bed. I happened to listen to an audiobook for another 30 minutes before I fell asleep, and that let me finish We Could Be Rats by Emily Austen, which I'm giving 3.5 stars. I don't even really know how to talk about the premise of this book because it is inherently dark, and even the premise should have like content warnings, but it's also weird and wacky, and those 2 things can always be expected from an Emily Austen book in my experience. Dark but wacky. I'm trying to decide how much I want to say. It's a story about like selfhood and also sisterhood, but it's framed around a tragic incident and severe mental health issues. There were parts that I really enjoyed about it. There were parts that I didn't fully understand. Like, I would say there are 3 major sections: the letters, the point of view of one sister, and then the point of view of the other. And I'm just not sure that it fully like connected for me all the way through. Like, they all connected, obviously. It was a linear story in a way, but I'm just not sure that they all formed a cohesive picture for me, if that makes sense. But overall, like, I had a pretty good time reading it, which is usually true of Emily Austen books for me. And then this morning I woke up and I sat in bed and I started another TBR crime book. I read a third of it, and then I was like, it's time to get out of bed for the day. So I started an audiobook, got ready, made myself breakfast. I had hash browns. I've wanted to show you food in this vlog that I've been having. Like last night, I had the stuffed shells that I bought from Aldi, but nothing was like looking good on camera. And it's the taste that matters anyway. So you're just gonna have to believe me that the food that I've been having has been delicious. I just don't have an aesthetic food setup situation, and that's fine, because that's not what I do. I'm mainly here to talk about reading. But with that, I got through about 20% of my new audiobook, and I am just a couple minutes shy of 15 hours of reading total for this. So that's epic. I feel like I'm well on my way. And again, I'm feeling good. My energy's there. I have put on sneakers, so that I can pace a lot today. That's going to be my goal this morning, is to get steps in while I read. Hopefully it should just be a relaxing reading day. I do also have to edit my video for tomorrow. I'm not sure how that's going to fit into 12 hours of reading, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe I edit tomorrow morning, who knows? I'm just gonna see where the day takes me. Book-wise and energy-wise, too. That's important. Back to reading I go. It is approaching 4:30 p.m. and I have read for 21 hours so far. I'm still doing fine, but I am getting tired, which I think is fair because yesterday, I forget what it was, but there was a reason why. Did I take a break from reading? I don't know. The point is, brain scrambling. I did just read a book in one sitting that I'm going to tell you about. It was a fairly quick read. It took like less than 2 hours, maybe, because it was Dear Manny by Nick Stone, which is the third book, final question mark, in the Dear Martin series, which I gave the first book in that series 5 stars, and then I gave the second book in that series 4 stars, and I'm giving this book 3.5 stars. I can still really appreciate the point of this series, but I just think nothing's going to be as impactful as the first book for me. But I really have to shout out Nick Stone on this one because she decided to write this one from the perspective of what's his face? I've completely forgotten his name already, and I just finished the book. Like, put down my Kindle, picked up my phone to start filming. This is embarrassing. He's an antagonist in the first 2 books. Like, nobody likes him in the first 2 books. Nick Stone decided to write this book from his perspective to see how he's grown, how he's still growing, and just the complex realities of being a human in this world, especially a young human. I think what's really blocking the name right now is since it's called Dear Manny, my brain wants to think his name's Manny, but it's not because he's writing letters to Manny. What the heck's his name? Jared. His name's Jared. That's why I couldn't remember it. So we're following Jared in this one, who is not a likable character in the first 2 books. And is he likable here? Debatable. You decide for yourself. But we're following the characters from the series as they go to college, and Jared is going to run for class president. He's actually a junior at this point. So he's running for junior class president, and we get caught up in all the drama that goes along with that and the 2 people that he's running against. Again, I like the messages behind it. I feel like it's fair to say, since I read this in one sitting, that I would notice if the flow was off for this book, and I felt like it was. Maybe I would have noticed it less if I had not read it all in one sitting, but I did. So there were just parts that, like, I don't know, where the flow was weird, or I didn't get answers to questions that I felt like should be answered. They didn't have to be the answers I was looking for. I just would have liked them rounded out a little bit at the end. But I finished this book, and I'm gonna go back to listening to my audiobook, even though I'm pretty sure I have no idea what's happening in the audiobook because I was listening to it earlier while playing a game. I just couldn't care about the story. That's when I know a story is more mid, is when I'm having a lot of trouble paying attention as an audiobook, because if it's really good, I can still pay attention to an audiobook, but this one's just okay so far. I'm having a bit of trouble with that, and it makes me feel like I'm cheating in some way, like I'm not actually reading it, because if you asked me what was happening, I could not tell you. But I guess I couldn't even remember Jared's name, and I had literally just finished this book, and I definitely read it, so, you know, who knows? That's just how it is, I guess. So, back to my audiobook, 3 more hours of reading to go. I can totally do this. It is 7:17. I am making dinner right now. I'm making a burrito bowl, so I'm making a big batch of black beans. But I'm here to tell you that I hit my 24 hours. Here's my Bookly screenshot proving it. These last couple hours have been rough. I've just been audiobooking. I've been having a lot of trouble paying attention, but I've been trying my best. I finished that audiobook that I was telling you about earlier. It's Us in Ruins, I think it's called. It's about this girl. She goes on this archaeology trip, even though she's not qualified to do so, as a college class, and she's following the instructions of this like journal, but she gets there and she follows the instructions and finds the guy who wrote this journal, but as a statue, because he got trapped in a statue, and things kind of go from there. And it was fine. I just didn't really care, so I had trouble paying attention. I know my brain is also tired, so that doesn't help my paying attention, but like, I just didn't care overall, so that's on that. And hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow, soon, to wrap up this vlog and talk about how the past 48 hours have been. but I'm super happy that I hit my 24 hours and I have time tonight to do the rest of the things that I need to do tonight. Later, skaters! I am here to wrap up my crazy 2 days of reading. I successfully read 24 hours in a 48-hour time period. Again, I don't even know how long it's been since I attempted this challenge, so I'm thrilled that it went well, especially since I did it a little differently than I usually do. Some stats for you. According to Bookly, in those 2 days, I read 2,226 pages. I read 6 books from start to finish. So that's great. I'm pretty sure I also got some pages read in other books, but 6 books done is a major win. Several of those were audiobooks. I read several books for TBR Crime, which is great because I'm trying to bust through those before Wonderathon starts. So yeah, I could not be more pleased with how this went. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what reading challenge should I try next, and subscribe for more bookish and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!